लड़े वो वीर जवानों की तरह, ठंडा खून फौलाद हुआ, मरते मरते भी मार गए, तभी तो देश आजाद हुआ। लहू बहा था किसी का, किसी ने सूली पे सांस चढ़ाई थी, हंसकर जान दी है वीरों ने, यूं ही नहीं आजादी पाई थी। वेलकम एवरीवन टू एसएसबी क्रैक एग्जाम्स। आई एम साक्षी। आप सभी को एसएसबी क्रैक एग्जाम्स की तरफ से स्वतंत्रता दिवस की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। आई विश यू ऑल अ वेरी 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 हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे। इंडिपेंडेंस, very easy to say, but very, very difficult to attain. This day is the reminder of all the sacrifices by our freedom fighters who stood up against the colonizers and even suffered the harsh consequences. They suffered for the later generation. They suffered for us. They suffered for us so that we can breathe the free air. So, what would be the better day to discuss the contribution and to know how we attained the independence? Before beginning, I would like to introduce you with SSB Crack Exams. It is India's leading institution for all the defense-related examination. For more details, you can visit our website ssbcrackexams.com. There you'll find the complete packages of courses, mock tests, quizzes, and study materials. And do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Telegram. And you can also download our mobile app, SSB Crack Exams, from Google Play Store. So, Independence Day in India is celebrated religiously throughout the country on the 15th August every year. It was the same day on 1947 that India was declared independent from the British colonialism. It also marks the anniversary of partition of Indian subcontinent into two countries, India and Pakistan. The Britishers ruled India for more than 200 years, and this year India is going to celebrate the 74th Independence Day on 2020. So as I told you, it is celebrated throughout the India, and on the eve of Independence Day, the President of India delivers the address to the nation. The Prime Minister hoists the Indian flag on the ramparts of the historical site Red Fort in India, and he delivers a speech. In his speech, Prime Minister highlights the past year's achievements, raises important concerns, and calls for the further development. The speech is followed by march past of the divisions of the Indian Armed Forces and paramilitary forces. But this year, there is a twist. This year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there will be no such social gatherings, and all the states and the government's offices have been asked to webcast their events and celebration. So let us start the story of Indian independence. So it started with the advent of Britishers, the advent of Europeans in India. First of all, for the economic expansion as East India Company, but later on they have started the political expansion as well. And then the company rule in India effectively began in 1957. Many Indians were distressed with the rapid cultural changes imposed by the Britishers, which led to the Indian Mutiny of 1857, which is also known as the First War of Indian Independence. Years have passed with suppression and several resistance, and finally, the civic society gradually started emerging, and most notably with the emergence and with the formation of Indian National Congress Party, which was formed in the year 1885, and then started the struggle for Indian independence. It has been observed that the struggle of freedom in India has been a merger of series of political, socio-cultural and economic factors that led the rise of Indian nationalism. See guys, a single session is not at all enough to explain and to tell you about the 200-year-long history and contribution of our forefathers. I'll be covering only a few points and chronology of events in which I can briefly cover and showcase you the timeline of the events, that how India emerged independence. So it started with the non-cooperation movement, which was pitched in under leadership of Mahatma Gandhi ji, the father of the nation. After a series of events, including the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, where people of Punjab, they gathered on the occasion of Baisakhi at Jallianwala Bagh, and they were gathered to lodge their peaceful protest against the prosecution by British government. And then comes the General Dyer. He appeared suddenly with the armed police and fired indiscriminately at the innocent, empty-handed people, leaving hundreds of people dead. So after the series of such events, Gandhiji realized that there was no prospect of getting an fair treatment at the hands of British. So he planned to withdraw the nation's cooperation from British government with non-cooperation movement. The non-cooperation movement was followed by civil disobedience movement in 1929. And finally, on January 26, 1930, meetings were held all over the country, and the Congress Party, they hoisted tricolor flag. The Britishers then too tried to suppress the movement and resorted to brutal firing and killings in which thousands were arrested along with the Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru. During this time only, Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev and Rajguru, they were arrested on the charge of throwing bombs at the Central Assembly Hall, and they were basically demonstrating against the autocratic alien rule, and they were hanged to death on March 23, 1931. उसके बाद ही 1942 में गांधी जी ने क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट स्टार्ट किया. ऑन 8 अगस्त 1942 गांधी जी गेव द क्लेरियन कॉल ऑफ डू और डाई, करो या मरो. He said we shall either free India or die in the attempt. We shall not live to see the perpetuation of our slavery. It was a final push to make Britishers quit India, to leave India. उसके बाद वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 हुआ. ब्रिटेन में लेबर पार्टी आई. And Labour Party, it was under the leadership of Prime Minister Clement Attlee. Labour Party इंडिया की इंडिपेंडेंस को लेके काफ़ी sympathetic थी. The Labour Party was largely sympathetic towards the Indian people for the freedom. They sent a cabinet mission to India in 1946, and the cabinet mission, after the careful study of Indian political scenario, they proposed a formation of interim government and constituent assembly. बट कैबिनेट मिशन को मुस्लिम लीग ने उस वक्त रिफ्यूज़ कर दिया. द मुस्लिम लीग रिफ्यूज टू पार्टिसिपेट इन द डेलिब्रेशन ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली एंड इट प्रेस्ड फॉर सेपरेट स्टेट ऑफ पाकिस्तान. मुस्लिम लीग ने तब तक पाकिस्तान के लिए डिमांड कर दी थी. बट फाइनली कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली इट वॉज फॉर्म्ड इन जुलाई 1946 एंड इट फ्रेम द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली ने हमारा संविधान बनाया. जून 3, 1947 लॉर्ड माउंटबेटन he presented a plan for division of India into 2 states, India and Pakistan. Indian leaders had no choice but to accept the division as the Muslim League was adamant. Muslim League को मनाना उस वक्त नामुमकिन था. Thus, but finally India became free at the stroke of midnight hour on 15th August 1947. 15 अगस्त 1947 को भारत को आज़ादी दे दी गई. In the first speech of the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru ji, he gave voice to the sentiments of the nation. Mr. Nehru said, "Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now time comes when we'll redeem our pledge, not wholly or full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to the life and freedom. A moment comes, which comes but rarely in the history, when we step out from the old to new, when an age ends, and when the soul of a nation, long suppressed, finds utterance. We end today a period of ill fortune, and India discovers herself again." इंडिपेंडेंस डे का नाम आते से ही ये स्पीच हमारे कानों में गूंजने लगती है. बट इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद की जर्नी इतनी भी ईजी नहीं थी. The first and the foremost task of our forefathers was to give India a constitution. The constitution in India was adopted by Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949, and on January 26, 1950, Constitution came into force and Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the first President of India. We adopted our national symbol. हमने हमारे national symbol को adopt किया, national flag जो कि Constituent Assembly ने 22 जुलाई 1947 को ही adopt कर लिया था. Tricolor national flag, नेशनल एंथम जनगण मन जो कि कॉम्पोजिशन है रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर की. द हिंदी वर्जन वॉज अडॉप्टेड बाय द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली एज अ नेशनल एंथम ऑन 24 January 1950. And then comes the song. It was also adopted in October 1937 by Congress Working Committee prior to the end of colonial rule. And we adopted the state emblem in January 1950. The state emblem, the lion capital of Ashoka, and all these national symbols were adopted and recognized after the independence. जैसा कि मैंने कहा कि इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद भारत की कंडीशंस इतनी अच्छी भी नहीं थी. Freedom came with partition and which resulted in large scale communal violence and riots. शुरुआती कुछ दिनों में India faced daunting challenges concerning with national unity and territorial integrity. अब मैं आपको पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस हिस्ट्री के बारे में एक छोटा सा ओवरव्यू देने वाली हूँ कि कैसे हमारे फोरफादर्स ने उस स्टेट में इंडिया को संभाला. सो फर्स्ट इट कम्स द पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस कंसोलिडेशन एंड रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग ऑफ इंडिया. When India got independent, it had 565 princely states. Apart from the problems like poverty, extreme hunger, sub-level economy and huge problems of rehabilitation of refugees, consolidation and restructuring and reorganization of princely state was a major challenge. But all thanks to the leadership quality of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. हाँ जी, सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल ने जिस तरह से रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन किया, हिस्ट्री में कोई भी उनके जैसा लीडर नहीं हो सकता. ही इज नोन एज द आयरन मैन ऑफ इंडिया, और आज उन्हीं की वजह से इंडिया स्टैंड्स यूनाइटेड टुडे. सो फर्स्ट ही इंटीग्रेटेड द प्रिंसली स्टेट्स, जूनागढ़, कश्मीर एंड हैदराबाद. But apart from this, during the colonial times, Britishers, moneylenders, traders, they invaded the tribal areas and disrupted the tribals in traditional way of life. The tribal integration was extremely difficult task to do, but somehow India did it. And then comes the linguistic reorganization of states. Now let's talk about the economic and diplomatic development in India post-independence. The history of India's economic growth is divided majorly into two phases. First is the first 45 years after the independence, and the second one is the 3 decades of the free market economy, and when India went to the liberalization of economy in 1991. The years before the economic liberalization were merely marked by the instances where economic development got stagnant due to the lack of meaningful policies. But India somehow emerged out the victorious, looking over the complexities of the nation. The major development were it has built a modern economy. Today, India is the world's 5th largest economy. It remained a democracy, which is a tough task considering the diversity and the huge population of India. We lifted millions of people out of poverty, and we became the space and the nuclear power. This is not the easy task to do at all. The India's ambitions were not just confined to survival. The long freedom struggle aimed to end the discrimination, bring about the socio-economic transformation, and ensure that each individual had the right to dignity. But India had a lot of baggage after the independence. A country emerging from the colonialism and partition both at the same time when the global politics was turbulent, with the world getting divided into 2 ideological groups. And during that time, it had just decided to ensure the political, social, and economic freedom to all its citizens within a democratic framework. We have indeed seen moments of separatism, war, but the state has got a mixture of political co-option, federalism, and hard power, and it managed to keep the territorial integrity of the country intact. 73 years ago, on this day, we took steps to become one of the largest democracies in the world, overcoming a plethora of challenges to earn the global recognition. India has come a long way since independence and still has a long way to go. This is all for today, guys. We'll meet in the next session. A very happy Independence Day. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.